Good day and welcome to the Family Cyber Clinics live Q&A. And I have to add, last live Q&A. I'm your host, Lawrence Edem. You're welcome. I trust that you are all prepped up for the D-Day. I say D-Day because it is important to all of us, especially families, that we're able to spend some time together this this season. Christmas is a wonderful time. It's I am youthful when it comes to Christmas. In fact, Christmas and birthdays, utter youthful, or rather utterly youthful. I make no excuse. I love Christmas. I love the fact that family can gather and love on each other. But yeah, this is our last live Q&A, and I'm hoping that we would make sure that we, as usual, I'm lowering the music, that we're making sure that we're using this time, the last Q&A effectively. And interestingly, we have a prize that we're giving out. I had to make sure I named what the prize was, because cool prize. So what's that? So yes, there is a £30 voucher to be won for the best question that I determined during our engagement today. So please, if you have not already submitted questions using the live Q&A link that I showed, if I let me send it again. Now let me show it on the screen. You should see it on the screen in a little while. Let's see. Yeah. So that is the link. If you've not already submitted, that is the link that you use for today's submission and future submissions to stand in a chance to win the voucher. So get those questions in, and we will also be taking questions on the live show. Okay, so please get those questions in. I'm keen that we do that and do that pretty sharpish. It'll be difficult to look at the emails from the website. If you haven't sent it in, it will be a huge push if you're using the link at this at this time to get your questions through. So you might as well send the questions in using the comments. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing that pretty sharpish. Okay, use the comments section to get your questions in, and please do so quite soon. I can't emphasize how important it is to get the questions in if you want to qualify. So I'll wait a bit and see if questions come in. I do have something to share, and I'll have to plug my phone in so I can demonstrate it. I mentioned in the brief jingle that I'll be revealing a scam that's out there that needs our attention and due diligence. So I'll talk about that. But importantly, I'm here for you. Any question related to internet use in your family home. And of course, if you engage the young ones in your home, you're prepping them up for what they will do, the etiquette they will maintain when they go out into the world. So it's important, absolutely important, that you binge on this stuff. I also did ask that we have a huge push to get our numbers, our subscriptions, and viewership up. And to that, I'm planning some sort of remodel in the new year to get engagement going, because you guys are difficult to reach. Okay, so I'm hoping that I can that format will suit you better. Basically, we'll be seriously reducing the amount of time. We call it shorts, so we'll just tackle things very short bite-sized formats, just to get the information out. So you just get it, boom, you're off. Okay, that seems to be trending, and because I want to generate engagement, I'll do whatever to get this information to you. Okay, so please get those questions in. Hello, Nora. Thank you for your support. Okay. All right, so I'm going to wait a little bit. And again, if you also want to be part of the show, as in you want to actually give your question live, I can give you a link. Yeah, I can get you a link to get into the show live, and that will be also a beautiful thing. The thing with live shows is you it's what you see, that's what you're getting. There is some prep work, but it is live, so do what you can. So if you really want to come on board and have a chat with me, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll send out a link and pull you in. All you have to do is click the link, set up your system, and boom. When I say set up a system, choose camera, choose mic, that's it. Give me your name, and once I identify you, I bring you into the show. Okay? Let's do this. Let's do this. So I know that also that in the past you don't get to see as much of what is happening on the comments. So when comments come in, unless I click it and show it on the screen, you don't know that things are happening. But today we're going to tweak it a bit and see, but I need it to be busy before I bring it in. Okay? I'll bring those comments in so you can see the questions and you see them ticking down. But we've got to do this sharpish. All right? As usual, we have an hour to spend. Of course, that's reducing. Now we have 43 minutes. But we have that time, 53. Lawrence, get your maths right. 53 minutes to get this thing going. All right? I'm here for you. And if you don't want to be known and you just want to ask a question anonymously, please still do it, and I'll answer accordingly. But don't go away with a question that's, really, really bothering you. I have opened up myself to emails, text messages, so it'll be crucial to get your question, and I'll be more than happy to address it, no matter what the question is. I'm here for you. I'm like a doctor. It's a family clinic. Okay? So I'll treat you. All right. Get those questions in. Get those questions in. Hey, Zachary. Let me see whether he wants to come into the show. Let's see. I said I was going to show you comments so that you know that I am showing the comments. Let's see. Come on. Just gonna get the comments onto the screen. At least you can see me, so that's not so bad. Okay. And I hope you can hear me too. Yes, you can. Okay. Just getting the question so that you can see Zachary's question. I can see more coming in. That's good. Good evening. Oh, it's evening, yeah? Hello, Juanita. Hello, Zachary. Zachary, I'm so proud of you. Absolutely so proud of you. You are. Yeah. Huge, huge, huge. All right, you can see the questions. Like, I'm making sure that you see them come through. So Juanita, yes, good evening to you, or from England, good morning to you. Or rather, good afternoon, it's just noon. Okay, so I've got some questions. How do you, let's see, tell whether your contact, you guys can see it, so I'm reading it as you can see it. Let's see. How do you tell whether your contact has been hacked and is sending you potential malware? That is painful. And your second question, other than being new and flashy, is there any point in getting the newest phones on the market? Wow, Zachary, you should be a dad. Okay, well, it's a good question, even though, in fact, it's a good question, full stop, okay? So I'm going to tackle those. But again, welcome. Those who are just arriving, please, if you want to speak to me live, not by phone, just by internet, just let me know and I'll put the link in the comments so that you can ping, do the necessary and comment on the show. We have time, okay? So don't be shy. But we're going to tackle Zachary's question now. I think it's best to mute this and just go that way. Okay, so the first question Zachary has asked is, how do you tell whether your contact has been hacked and is sending you potential malware? Now, that's a difficult one, Zach, only because it's unless you start seeing abnormal activity on your WhatsApp, page, your email, emails that come in, or things that you do generally when you go online and you're browsing the internet, you just see things happening funny. Those are usually red flags, a telltale signs that something is up. But since you're particularly talking about contacts, your contacts will often send you the dangerous stuff, the malware stuff, via email, or not your contacts, your good contacts. I'm talking about those rogue contacts. If your contact information has been compromised, the activity will be noticeable mainly in your mailbox. That's where you see it manifest, or WhatsApp. And the first thing that you do, okay, I'm trying to address your question directly because that's key. The first thing you do, so you can't, your first question, question A of 1, says, how do you know? You only know by the symptoms, what you see coming in. Unfortunately, that's the only way. You do have mitigating things that you can do to prevent that happening in the first place. But to know whether it's happened, you have to see symptoms. And one or two of those symptoms would be, you getting emails from unknown sources all of a sudden, or your friends calling you and telling you that they're getting emails from you, unsolicited emails. So you're not aware you're sending emails, for example. Those are telltale signs. Those are red flags confirming that something is up. And it could filter down into your WhatsApp messages. Okay? So that answers part A of your first question. Part B would be, if it's happened, if malware if you've noticed that behavior, then the first thing, like we've mentioned in several videos, the first thing you do is to change your password. Change your password. It will be very difficult to change your email address because those things are golden. I mean, things really have to be bad for you to consider changing your email address. But the first thing you do is to change your password. That is the advice that we'll give from the clinic. Change your password. And if it is really, really messy, as in you've done everything to try and get things fixed, but you're still getting emails in, then the clinic will, on a secondary level, advise that you change your email address. So let's say you're Lawrence at familyclinic.com, and that's been spammed, then you would have to change it to something like Lawrence very angry. I'm kidding. Lawrence or some other thing. You just add things that are relevant to you at familycyberclinic.com. You may have to do that when things are really bad, but the primary approach would be to change your password and get that done pronto, no delay. Okay, that usually would stop a lot of those things coming in. So if you do have malware, however, after your system or your contacts have been compromised, then you have to do many things we've advised you on. In fact, I'll post a video after the show so that you can click on it. But ultimately, if your system has been compromised already and there's malware, there's stuff you need to do. Okay, there'll be stuff that you need to do, and you've got to do that. And I'll leave that in the comments. Or engage with me. You see, I think where I'm getting this engagement thing wrong is I'm giving you too much information. So when I give you too much information, you have no use of me, post show. So what I'm doing now is holding back. I won't hold back crucial information, but I'll hold back those later things. Let's do that later. I'll hold that back so that you come back to me. I'm getting there, and hopefully in 2021, our engagement will be okay, beautiful. Okay, so that should answer Zachary's first question, I hope. Let's see. Thank you, he says. And again, I want you to see the comments. That's so important to me now that you see the comments come in. So he says, thank you. Could I come onto the show? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Totally unrehearsed, but he's coming onto the show. Okay. But before we do, Zachary, hold tight. Before we do, Juanita has a question. So let's address Juanita's question, okay? Good stuff. Let's go back to where are we? Where? Okay. So Juanita has asked, where do I go for help? I said I was going to show you the comment so you can see it. Where do I go for help if my family or I have been a victim of an online scam or cyber crime? How can I redeem my information before it's too late? Restore, recover my information, correct my information. You have to explain what you mean by redeem. I kind of know, but I don't want to jump the gun. Okay? But yes. And I know that you guys do this already. If it is a crime, like crime, the first people you go to are the police. They're armed and prepped. Yes, even cybercrime. They are the first that you go to, okay? There's action fraud. I don't know how action fraud, and the number, I don't have it to hand, but I'll leave it in the comments at some point. But action fraud is also another place where you find comfort, where you find a quick solution. And so that's crucial. But if it's crime, if your life is being threatened and all that, police, straight away. But if it's stuff that can stew and wait a bit, by all means, I am available to you. So you can reach out to me. My Asian family know how to get through to me. Send me an email quick, ping me on WhatsApp, and let me know immediately. I'll be on online to give you the advice pronto, okay? And I will make those determinations for you. But okay, you have explained your redeeming. It says, prevent my information from being spread further. Wow. You've heard my favorite saying, Juanita, where I say the internet does not have a delete key. Now, in your own case, or if that's happened to you or somebody you know or you're connected to, if it's gone out there already, that's really tough. Really tough. The damage control usually would be to identify the person. If you can, that's good and you can reason with the person. But usually rogues are not people that you know. Rogues are just out to mess you up. But as I said, if it's a crime, you report it, and then the people, police and the agencies in general have a way to tackle such crime. But restoring or redeeming or preventing your information from spreading further, that's a tough one. I know that you love God, so of course you tap on him by bending down on your knees. Do that. Once you do that, secondary things you can do would be on whatever platform. Let's say it was the misinformation was posted on Facebook or Twitter, and people, let's say you have friends or followers on those platforms. What you can do, it goes some way, but it doesn't really correct the information all the other people have. But if you put out the right info, let's say someone is misrepresenting you and saying things about you that's not true. So you can counter it with a post, and you give the real information that needs to be out there. Okay? The same people who are reading all the other information, the rogue information, at some point will see your own post and know what you have said as gospel. And so for me, that's what you can do. The two things: go on your knees. And then second, you must post a counter information that corrects whatever misinformation is out there. Redeeming or restoring information that has already gone on there is difficult, because people may say they've deleted it, but you don't know who has taken a snapshot or a screenshot. So the information is always there. That's why the mitigating thing that you can do would be only share information online that you are willing to share. Don't put personal information out there. I know in your case, your system was compromised. Or not your case, but in the case that you mentioned, the system was compromised. So it's hard to have planned or prepped yourself for it. But again, if you do all the things that I've mentioned you do on your system, making sure that you're patching your system, making sure your antivirus is up to date, make sure you're changing your passwords regularly, all those things help mitigate. Okay? So those things don't even happen in the first place. But it's something that you have to stay on top of. Not something that you can say, oh, I'm going to take a break from security. No way. Stay on the money. Okay? So I hope that helps. I really do. I may not have catered for it, but anything crime, police, action, fraud, I'll post the number in the comment section. That's another number to go to. And then consume the content on the clinic's platform. We address many things about what happens and what you should do. And I'll post it in the info card just after the show. Wow. I feel overwhelmed already by some of the questions coming in. So Juanita, I hope that helps. I think it does. I hope it does. So if you're a victim, and you can't be a victim, police, action, fraud. If it's something that is not as incriminating, I hope that word is okay, then please speak to me. I'll be online to assist you and give you further information. Okay, let's see. How can you tell if an email address is not genuine before opening the email? Well, to start with, you have contacts. So unsolicited email. I hope you guys had that question. Juanita's question is on screen. I hope you can see it. It says, how can you tell if an email address Zachary, I've not forgotten you. How can you tell if an email address is not genuine before opening the email? So first of all, you have contacts that you've created. So if an email comes from your contact, of course you know that. But if an email comes from somewhere unsolicited, as would happen, you're growing up, and yes, you may get emails from, educational bodies and all those. Unsolicited emails happen to everyone. There's something I told you in some of the videos that I've posted already. If you put your mouse and hover over the email address, or you can see, I think in some of the mail platforms like Gmail and Outlook and Hotmail, all those, when you hover over the sender information, it should allow you see more. Okay, so first of all, the subject of the email is usually the go-to. That's why if you have a good subject line, people will read your email. Oh, you have won 1,000. That gets your attention. But rather than jump to it, also read the content of the email. If the content of the email has things like some spelling mistakes, for example, and salutations that are so rigid and plastic, you've got to be suspect. But more importantly, if you look at the sender information, you hover your mouse, it will either show it to you without you doing anything further, or it will say view for more. If you view it, you will see the email address. And so if you see an email address, if you see a subject, let's say from HSBC, a subject line saying, please contact customer services, and it says from HSBC. And then you look at the, you look at the the sender information, and the at bit, just from at all the way down to the .com or .co.uk, doesn't make sense. Maybe it says hsbconlinebogos.com or .co.uk. Suspect. Okay? And the more you do it, the more you train yourself. This is not a one-time education thing. You've got to continue. So with security, that's why I say you cannot suspend security or pause security. It has become part and parcel of the way we gather information. So we've got to be on it. So if you do that often enough, the red flags will be so clear from miles away. Okay? So hover over that email address, the sender information, you'll find the email address. If you have any doubts, follow your gut. If you have any doubts, don't open that email, just send it to your spam box. Okay? I hope that has answered that question. I believe it has. I'm going to try and get Zachary online. Let me post. I hope I can do this. Think I can. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Okay. Zachary, if you can hear me, you've got to have to do this. Okay. Just send, because I can't, without delaying you, I just can't figure out how to add the comment without, and I don't know why that is, to add the comment without stopping something. Okay? So I will ask you to listen carefully. Well, not with music. Listen carefully for this link. Just put Zach, Z-E-D-C-H dot, yeah, you're gonna have to do this, Z-A-C-H dot NCCWELLING.live. Okay? I'll repeat it. Zach, Z-E-D-C-H dot NCCWELLING.live. Just put HTTP, no, not HTTPS, HTTP, and it will bring you to a secure location. Okay, it will tell you to configure your camera and mic, and then I'll bring you into the show. All right, give me a thumbs up if you got that. Don't know why I can't send comments using this, but you get the idea. Okay. Oh man, you see, I love when technology works. He got it. All right, Zach, let me get you onto the show. 1 second. Can you hear me? No, he can't. So I'm getting Zachary onto the show. Let's see if I can bring him. Zachary is one. Can you hear me?
Yes, Uncle.
Hey, man. Welcome. I'm so chuffed that you are on board. I wanted our folks to know that this can happen, and I'm sure that they will get some boldness, to do this going forward. How are you? First and foremost.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm currently in quarantine.
I know. Good man. I'm so proud of you. Okay. I know this is people don't want to hear me blab away. So please let me hear your question.
So I'm not sure if you know about an application called Clubhouse. It's an application where they bring celebrities, musicians, entertainers, basically people of great influence around the world, and basically just invited to come and talk about whatever they want. So it's almost like Instagram Live, but it's very, very exclusive. In the sense that only select people can really speak on it. You can't, like, I couldn't go onto it and just start talking to the masses. It's very, very elite. And so my question is, in terms of, I mean, I'm 18, so I wouldn't necessarily call myself a child, but having listened to one of the podcasts they had this week, I was just still thinking about the influence it sort of has on kids today in terms of what they talk about and in terms of the message that is being spread to kids. I just wanted to see whether the clinic had any opinions on that and advice.
Okay, and I do. But first of all, what was the name of the application you mentioned again?
It's called Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Okay. Well, I think the advice that I have, really, it's pretty in my view anyway, it's quite straightforward. We've mentioned in many videos that we've released, we've mentioned that people should only be willing to share or come online and share information that that is public worthy, as in, if you drop it in the public domain, it will have no bearing on you later on. So the wisdom that we apply to doing things, in general, the way we engage in the world, must be, certainly on the internet front, we must always only share information that we are not worried, if it gets into the wrong hands, might come back and bite us. I know that it's an entertainment platform, so there are people who will go there with an agenda. And usually the agenda is to be impressive. You want people to see you in some light, but you must make sure that the information you're sharing is truthful. You don't want a situation where you're sharing information and then someone comes and counters it, and you now look like a fraud. So it's important that you, because I'm not going to say don't go to those platforms. Of course, do your due diligence, find out what the motive of those platforms are. What are they doing with your information? These days, when you start those platforms, you have to share your privacy guidelines, terms and conditions. Do some research before you go to a platform and feel comfortable, you know. And I know when you think about it, like I said 2 weeks ago, I'm on YouTube primarily to empower parents. That's my vision. That's what drives me. The second is bonus, and the second becomes the monetary value that you get from YouTube if you're, you know, pulling traffic to their platform. That comes, and when it comes, we'll celebrate. So the focus for me must be that I'm empowering. So if you go to that sort of platform and you're invited onto that sort of platform, when you go there, it must be very clear what you're hoping to achieve. You don't just go there because your friends are going to be tuning in. You don't just go there because it's going to make you look, you know, big and all that. There always has to be a motive. And you know, I'll say that and more at you, to you on a regular basis, that it must be that. The motive must be pure. And that way your conscience is clear. You know, it's interesting, and I'll end my bit anyway. It's interesting that if you went onto that platform, for example, and someone came back and said, you won't believe what Zachary said. Because of the relationships that we form with each other, because of how we engage on Family Cyber Clinic, I can defend you without actually reading the content. And that's what education does. And I'm hoping that many people who are part of this family or community will learn so much so that when they leave home and they're exposed in the marketplace, that nothing will, faze them. That they know who they are, they know what they know, and when they go out, they will tread carefully and apply wisdom in all circumstances. I hope that helps. I know, because it wasn't really technically, read the privacy settings, do your research about the platform, find out where the content goes to and what they do with the content. That's the technological bit. Just find out what the platform does with your data. But you don't have control over that. So what you have control over is what you say. Do you understand? What you're going there to project. So you've got to make sure that that is public domain worthy. Okay?
So the reason I ask is because with, for example, me personally, I'm a very big music fan. So over the years, having listened to all kinds of music, whether quick gospel or my mum has always been very on my case about who I listen to and the messages I'm taking in.
We all are.
And so, for example, I just saw on my recommended YouTube page this week, and then there was a few rappers talking about why so was negative or not giving back to quote unquote culture and etc. and stuff like that. And so I was just sort of thinking that in terms of, like you said, because the clinic is all about empowering parents, how can parents sort of be not necessarily mitigating force, but how can they be wary of the messages that their children could hear? Because when you're on the platform, you're not necessarily speaking. Like you're not. In fact, I think only if you have a certain amount of followers on social media, whatever, that's when you can actually be a speaker on the platform. Otherwise, you're just listening. And so, how can my mum, for example, be able to protect me and be aware of the messages I'll be hearing from, I don't know, let's say a Jay-Z, for example, or a Kanye West? How can my mum be protective and what's the word? Or know the messages that her son is hearing from people? Obviously, it's easy for her to just say, don't go into it. But in days of social media where your friend can hear something and spreading it on social media, like, yo, this person said this and this, how can parents just sort of mitigate that, so to speak?
Well, you said it. In fact, I think Sorry, there was some echo there. So you said it, and as far as I'm concerned, mothers and fathers should not stop doing what they already do, and that's not give up on their children. So they will continue to feed. Since I'm giving advice to mothers, so keep doing what you're doing. Oh yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And I know the doing on your knees bit is just beautiful. So continue doing that. Don't mince words about what you tell your son or daughter that relates to engaging strangers, engaging other people, and also allow it grow. I'm a big fan on releasing the trained son or daughter and allowing them plow, but still you behind the scenes are still doing your bidding on your knees. But it's important to give them the information that's required. First and foremost, your son and daughter must know who they are. They must know who they are. And that way they don't go out to look for validation. I think where most sons and daughters go astray is they don't know who they are. So they're looking for validation, looking for their friends to validate them. They're looking for applause. They're looking for followership. All those things are, and unfortunately, they're looking for it in the wrong place. Know who you are. First and foremost, that's the message. Get the young ones to know who they are. Then you find that the independence that you seek for your young ones will come because they know who they are and they know that they can't be influenced by other people's opinion about themselves. They know who they are. Of course, they're open also. They're open and humble to learn. So it's not like they close the door because I know who I am. I'm not going to seek information outside. No, grow with the information that you hear, but you are the filter. You are the sieve. Only the good information comes in. The bad information stays out. But train yourself. So I've now moved from mothers and fathers to sons and daughters who are perhaps on the platform today. Make sure that you are doing what your parents are asking you to do. And if you have a healthy relationship with your parents, you can find that you can have dialogue. So you dialogue with them, try and understand the motive, which is usually love, but find out the little bits attached to that love and make sure that they understand what they're telling you and that you understand what they're telling you. So I think it's a very, very useful. You actually got me to ask parents questions. So that's beautiful. Very, very good tact. But that's the idea. Let's just remain on track with training. Don't let off. Okay? Zachary, it's been a blast.
Thank
you so much. And I hope that others will now feel confident to come in on the show. And those that are watching now, if you want to come onto the show on the Saturday and you need to let me know, that way I'll prepare. Like I didn't prepare this, but I had what's called a wild card entry just in case, because I don't know who is coming and no one said they were coming, but I still open it up. But Zach, you're my man. Thank you so much. Okay? And I hope, and I may just address your other question. The other questions coming in, I will address your second question in a bit. Okay?
Thank you.
God bless you. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was a blast. That so excited me. Honestly, you would know, because you really don't know what you're going to get, but at least I've been able to pull Zachary in, and I hope that you guys will do that in the future. Okay? All right, there's so many other questions that have come in. Let me just show you so that you can see it. Okay, Juanita, I've answered that one. Why do internet rogues need to sell our information? Because your information is golden. Data is golden. It's the currency now. Your data is your life. Information has data. That's all. Data is golden. That's why. So the rogue is after your data because it's valuable to him. And that doesn't make sense to you because they should mind their business. But if they can get you so worried that you will release money to, get the bad information out, that's money. People just are out there to, destroy us. And that's why the channel was born, to make sure that we're not just going in blindly. Seriously, that's all. Make sure that I'm equipping you and your parents so that these things are not happening. So don't worry about the rogue. Worry about what you are doing. If you concentrate on what you're doing, the rogue can't see you. That's my passion. Okay? I hope that's answered that. Edward has asked, what's the best thing to do if you do get a virus on your computer, laptop? That's an easy one for me, Edward. I'm going to point you to a video. It will be in the info card after the show, but it drills down on what you need to do. The first thing you need to do before you go and watch the video is to disconnect your internet or Wi-Fi, whether you're wired or using wireless. Disconnect it first and foremost, and then I talk about steps after that. When you disconnect, you prevent it from going on, but at least you're now, it's a bit like insurance. When you take out insurance, you're not only protecting yourself, you're protecting others. So others connected to you, like in Zachary's question where he asked what happens if you get a rogue email from one of your contacts that potentially has email. How do you find out? So if you have a virus, for example, or you suspect you have a virus, to protect others from getting that same nasty virus, you disconnect the internet, and there's no way for it to get to others until you've cleaned your system. Okay, but that video that will show up in the info card after the show would help you. Easy answer for me. Thank you. I've noticed, I think most of you are coming from, let's see, you're all mostly coming from YouTube. But I know that this is also on Facebook. It's being beamed live on Facebook. Is anyone on Facebook? Just send a hi or a holler and say, yes, I'm from Facebook. I'm using this live to also test that everything is working. So we stream to 2 platforms, YouTube and Facebook, when we do the live show. Okay? Going forward, that's just going to be the norm. All right? Thank you. Does parental control... We're back to parental controls. Does parental controls reflect distrust? Hear my answer. Yes, but we distrust the rogue. Okay? And we empower our young ones. Ultimately, when we put parental controls on, we're saying we want you on the internet, but we want you to be responsible and mature about it. Okay? It's not distrust at all. I said this 2 live Q&As ago. If you know your parent, I rest my case. Okay? The same parents that you trust for every other thing, why would they now distrust, or rather, why would they now be funny in another area? What we don't trust is the rogue, the people who you are worried why they care about your information. We're worried that they can get to you because you're happy, you just want to get on with work, you just want to do your thing, and someone wants to be a killjoy. And so to prevent you from getting into harm's way, we enable parental controls up to the time where we feel you're independent enough for it to come off. And you have to prove yourself. I told you that, I can't remember what I said, but I know that I said something is earned. It's not, you don't demand it, it's earned, and it's with time. So I'm preventing the people I distrust from harming you until I know that you're armed to go it alone. That's yeah, I hope that addresses that question. But it's a beautiful question, and the reason why I love it, it is here. It's coming from here. Okay? It's coming from here, which means it's important to you. Okay? Hi Val, this is beautiful, she says. Okay. I think that we have addressed all questions, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that and quickly mention, I need to quickly mention this. I said that, and by the way, yeah, we have a £30 voucher prize for the best question. So needless to say, we've had lots of questions, and I would make a choice after. The person will know. You'll get contact from me shortly after the show. But yes, we're not going to do the draw online, but we're going to send the information. But yeah, we have questions, so we're going to give out that voucher. Those who are here are the only ones who will qualify for it. Okay, I mentioned that there's a scam, and I hope that I have time to do this. I do. So I'm going to go to my phone, and I don't know whether it's in particular, or rather it's particular to folks in the UK, but I think it's important that we know. I'm looking down on my phone because I want to share the information with you. Where's the phone? I think it's there. Please bear with me. You should be able to see my phone. Yes, you can. And I've got a shift so you can see me. All right, so I got this text, and I hope you can see it. I got this text. Please turn. Oh, beautiful. So I got this text. Not sure if you can see it. I'm going to try and increase the font and then bring it so you can see. Please play well. It's not playing. It's refusing to play with me. Okay. Don't know whether you can see it. Yeah, it doesn't go further than that. So it says there, if you can see it, it says Lloyd's alert. Yeah. So I'm hoping, and see, came from a typical mobile phone. So they're not now using rogue numbers. They're using numbers that appear legit. So this is a scam. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm sorry if you can't. But it's a Lloyd's alert. It says you have successfully paired a new device, on the 15th at this time. And I was on my phone at that time. I think I was on my way home, and so I was on my phone, and there was nothing I was doing. In fact, I don't even have a Lloyd's account. I don't. But I got this text message. So, can you see, I said you have to always look for red flags. The first red flag for me was I was not on my phone, or rather I was on my phone, so it couldn't have been me at that time. And the second is I don't have a Lloyd's account. So why am I getting an alert? And then the other bit is it tells you to visit that link. And like I told Juanita, a Lloyd's alert, most of these organizations, especially banks, will either have Lloyds.com, LloydsBank.com. I don't know what it is, but I'll research it before I click the link. But I know that it's not going to be Lloyd-onlinedata.com. Impossible. Because it will always be suspect. Okay? That's a red flag. Don't click that link if you've received the text message. Zachary mentioned malware. This is how you get malware onto your system, because they're using this link to get you to a landing page that is full of malware. And once you're there, they start dropping things onto your system if you've not protected your system. And that's why it's key that we stay away from, rather we keep our systems up to date. Updates come, install them. Patches come, install them. Don't waste time. We have videos, playlists, all on the platform. Please consume the content and stay safe, okay? I think there's another website that I think I can give. Let me see if that also comes up. No, it's not coming up. No. Okay, let me see if I can refresh the page, because the information here might help. It's not allowing me. Why are you this big? It's not closing up, so bad idea. But I'll paste the link. Why are you not closing up? I'll paste the link later. But it's not sure why it's not showing up. No, I can't get it to show up. Okay? So ultimately that's the scam, and that's a scam that's out there right now that I'm making you aware of, because it is dangerous to ignore these scams. In the new year, I'll focus a lot on scams, so that we can differentiate what's a good, well, there's nothing good about a scam. What is a scam that is real? Fake scams, that's it. And what is bogus. I will spend time making sure that we are training ourselves to recognize scams. But they come in various shapes, and I don't want a situation where we are having those things affect us, unnecessarily. For me, it's so important that we get this right. Okay. All right. So we are closer to the end than we were 10 minutes ago. I have loved my time no end, and as you can see, there's it's a Christmas theme behind us. I want us to continue to do the right things while we engage online, and I couldn't be more chuffed to know that in the business that I know we are all engaged in, this last week before Christmas, you found time to come and spend an hour or so with me. I love you guys dearly. I do this, like I keep saying, because I want to empower you. I feel it's a shame that we're not using me, because I'm willing to give me to you in the area of cybersecurity. I want to get you to that place. And there's so much information. Like you notice I pushed Edward to go and watch a video, because it's there. Any query you have, and we've touched a lot of areas. At the moment, we're approaching 90 videos, and all those videos cater for something that I know you would need. And so it's important that we consume content, learn, educate ourselves, empower ourselves, so that we can do well with those ones the Lord has placed in our care. Okay? It's important. It's also important that we remain safe in the physical. Yes, there's a pandemic out there. Let's keep safe. Let's remain obedient to the guidelines, wearing a mask, wearing gloves where necessary, and keeping the distance. Those are what they say we must do, and we must be submitted to the authorities. Let's be wise and make sure that we have a safe Christmas, as safe as is possible. Let's keep our families safe. God has been so good to most of us on the platform, and long may that continue. I remain your host, a very excited Lawrence Edem. Until next week, where I'll still drop a 60-second video. Don't ask why it's 60 seconds, but I will drop a 60-second video. Until then, God bless and goodbye.